Hey everybody, it's James Freeman. Today's video is a little bit different than my usual content, but for those of you who watch my regular content, I think it's going to be a really good, feel-good video for you and a great way to start the new year. I have 3 quick little stories to share with you, all about more accountability coming for government. First story is out of Rhode Island, where a state trooper is being sued after he beat the crap out of a dude in a jail cell, because that's super heroic. Attorney General Peter Kilmartin has refused to represent and indemnify a trooper in the lawsuit. The Attorney General's office says that this is the first time in the history of the state that this has happened. The AG always represents dirty cops when they get sued, because cops have a hard job and therefore they should always get away with their crimes, right? This time, though, the AG finally said no more. Trooper James Taylor pled guilty to a simple assault in 2014 for beating the crap out of a dude in a jail cell. He was in jail for driving on an expired license. Now that cop is being sued, and the AG says that the taxpayer should not have to foot the bill to defend this criminal cop. The Rhode Island Troopers Association, a union that defends criminal cops, is big mad and crying about all this and released this statement. This has caused grave concern to all troopers and their families, since it obviously opens all of us to serious personal liability while facing the ever-increasing hazards required by our jobs. Now, to clarify exactly what's going on here, this cop pled guilty to a criminal charge for beating the crap out of this dude. In no way whatsoever was he conducting his official duties. He just decided to beat the crap out of somebody. And when the AG says, hey, now he's suing you and we're not going to represent you, you literally committed a crime. You pled guilty to that crime. And now you think that we should defend you? That's what's going on here. It's not even as if it's a questionable arrest. And, well, did you have probable cause for an arrest or did you not? No, this guy just beat the shit out of someone. And the union is saying this is a problem because it opens them up to serious personal liability. Let me rephrase that. Personal accountability. There are 6-year-olds who understand accountability for their own actions. Not all of them, but there are 6-year-olds who understand accountability for their own actions better than police do. And why? Well, it's because we've let these spoiled, rotten little brats commit crimes against us for so long with no accountability that they think that that's the way it's supposed to be. Well, the Attorney General released this statement.
Committing the crime of assault upon a prisoner or anyone is outside of the course and scope of the duties of a state trooper, and the taxpayer should not have to defend or pay for the criminal actions of Donnelly Taylor.
All right, our next story comes out of California. Over the years, I've seen people recording their own traffic stops and telling police when they get pulled over, hey, what am I being stopped for? You have to tell me what I'm being pulled over for before I have to provide you with a license, a registration, any of that stuff. You have to tell me why I'm being pulled over first. Before January, this was not the case in any state in the United States. Unfortunately, cops can just pull you over and start shaking you down, and they don't have to tell you why. Well, California just passed a new law, took effect in January, saying that the very first thing that police have to do when they approach you on a traffic stop is tell you why they pulled you over. Before anything else can commence, they must tell you why they pulled you over. Now, if you haven't taken life, liberty, or property from another, I can tell you right now why they're pulling you over. It's for money. But now they have to tell you that before any other part of the traffic stop can commence. Now, I know this doesn't help most of us because most of us would never live in the state of California, but it is a good start, and hopefully more states will follow suit. Our next story is in Florida, where elected officials across the entire state were resigning before the new year, when a new law takes effect that says that elected officials must disclose all of their financial information. These officials claim that having to disclose such information is an invasion of their privacy. And typically I would agree. It's nobody's business how much their neighbor makes unless their neighbor wants to tell them. However, Government officials seem to think that they have some magical powers that give them the authority to rule over everyone else. So fuck them. These people have absolutely no problem taking money from you without your consent and calling it taxation and then using it for whatever they see fit, which often personally financially benefits them. Somehow we got to a point where government gets to know everything about you and I. But as soon as we start asking questions of our government, we're deemed troublemakers. I say, make working in government uncomfortable so that only a saint would choose to do so. Municipal officials have claimed that this is an attack on municipalities. And why isn't this done to elected officials on the state and federal level? I couldn't agree more. Let's make being in government uncomfortable on every level. But we got to start somewhere. Personally, I think there's no better place to start than in your local government.
I reached out to Lake Mary State Senator Jason Broder, who sponsored the new law, which the governor signed back in May. He issued a statement which partially reads, "In a city, you can spend tens of millions of dollars with as little as 3 votes. Taxpayers deserve transparency. If a simple disclosure that hundreds of other elected officials already do makes someone quit, then voters should be glad."
Happy New Year, everybody, and may 2024 bring more accountability for government officials and government employees than any other year before.